Hi, Dr. Joy. I love your cardigan. I see we both got the pink memo today. Hello. Yes, great minds. So, how are you, Ellen? Valentine's Day was a couple of days ago, and so it put me in an interesting space. How so? I've been thinking a lot about self-love. And actually, I've never shared this with you before, but the day that I called your office to make my first therapy appointment, I cried like a baby. Like, as soon as I hung up the phone, I teared up. I had to call a friend who's been in therapy for years to find out if the tears were normal. What brought on the tears? I think it was a combo of fear and relief. The fear stems from the idea that I am going to unload all my thoughts, my secrets, my baggage to a stranger. And then the relief was I actually made the call, because it's something I had avoided for a really long time, because I believed that I could handle it on my own. I didn't want to deal with sharing my shit with somebody. And then you throw in the stigma of therapy in the Black community. You know, we're taught to talk to God or talk to a friend or keep it to yourself. And so all those things played a part in why it had taken me so long to make the call. So the fact that I did was just an overwhelming feeling. I'm glad you made the call, and thank you for sharing that story. Yes, absolutely. Beginning therapy is a big step towards being the healthiest version of yourself. Listen, it's the lifelong coping skills for me, Dr. Joy, because life can be a bully sometimes, and I need to learn how to diplomatically stand up for myself. That part. And so something else that kind of came up for me with self-love was, like, I recently had to make a decision that wasn't easy. And so I remember sitting on the couch weighing the pros and the cons of this decision and asking myself, how is this going to serve me in the long run? And was it going to bring me peace, or was it going to take away my peace? I asked myself a question in that moment. I said, Ellen, do you love yourself? And if so, how much do you love you? And that question rattled my brain for a minute, because it meant that I now needed to examine how and what I really felt about me. And was the decision that I wanted to make, how did it align with how I see myself and what I want for myself? And so I got up and I went to the bathroom, and I couldn't look in the mirror in the bathroom. Now, I have never met a mirror I didn't like. So I knew I was in trouble then if I couldn't face me in the mirror. But I knew, again, the fact that I couldn't meant that I was still like leaning on the side of, ooh, you want to do what you want to do, and you know that's not the right thing for you. And so I sat back down. I kept talking to myself, and then I realized at this stage in your life, you are fully aware of what your peace of mind means to you, of what your worth means to you, and how all those things should be served. And anything short of that meant that you are doing yourself a disservice. And so the fact that I was able to answer myself and actually believe that I do, and put it into action by making the decision that I needed to make, resonated with me in such a way that I don't know that it has before. Like, I don't know that I've ever challenged my thought process to those lengths to make the decision that I need to make. And so I knew in that moment, like, okay, you are growing over here. Like, you are growing upwards. And that just made me feel so good, Dr. Joy, because I've made shitty choices in the past. I've made shitty decisions in the past. So the fact that I was able to consciously make a good decision for me, whew, I'm getting emotional. Here's a box of tissues. Oh, thank you, Dr. Joy. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. I was not ready for this. Self-love is rooted in how much you value, appreciate, and like yourself, which is connected to your thoughts, your beliefs, and your perceptions about yourself. Also, creating boundaries, having self-control, self-worth, accepting and knowing and loving who you are. All these things play an integral role in self-love. So I'm glad to hear that you were able to examine these things and come to the conclusion that you needed to find. Yeah, it wasn't easy, but it's something I know that I needed to do. Well, it sounds like you made the right choice. Did I though? Ugh, the struggle is so real. Thank you though. You got this, Ellen.